for the load. Go and sneeze. Here, switch outside. Come on. Oh shit, the squirrels, they're everywhere. Oh my god, the entire road is like full of them. Oh my god, there's like 3 or 4 of them there. Oh, there's a crocus showing up there. I want to get the mail, but now I don't want to like spook all the critters. Look at him go. These crows are all just tricking me out now. Yeah, they're all up there. Here, let's see if I can, yeah. Oh, there they go. That mail arrived. Go. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on, bud. Goofy little dog. Let's see. Is that for me? No. No. What is this? Oh, it's like the calendar of what's going on in town. Yeah, not much else. I shoot. For bees nothing. Oh, you goofy puppy. Look at you. Look at you, sweet thing. Sure little doggo. Cold, dude. Man. There we go. Fucking hell. Come on. There we go. Good. There we go. Ugh. Yeah, it's my nose is getting all fucking stuffy. Seriously. Ugh. Ah, fucking hell, dude. Ay, ay. Man, oh man. I am sure worn the hell out. Goodness gracious. I heard my... Oh, fuck. I forgot my room. Get these empty cans, deal with these. On my way to grab that. Ay, ay, ay. Coffee. So good. Good shit. Oh my god. Anyway. A little bit of tuning jump. Boom, 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 boom. No. And where we go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, here we go. Seriously? It's already low. Damn, maybe the video's just that loud. Oh. Let's see what type of nuts it from here. There we go. Cool. Sweet. I mean, for how like light and dense, or like light and big these nugs are, they sure are lasting quite some time. Sweet. body's feeling all like oofy. I'm not too sure if I like it. But maybe smoking with bowl at least kind of help deal with some of that shit. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Probably not. But honestly, giving him sinus does help out a lot in the mornings. That's why the wake and bakes are actually really nice, because they do legit help like to deal with like gut issues if I'm having them in the morning. Kind of get my brain a little more stimulated up real quick. Definitely a little bit of an important process of the morning routine. At least on like weekends, on days I don't gotta work, I don't, really do it at least as often then, just because I ain't got nothing to do that day usually. But at least yesterday wasn't like that. It was more of an errand day. Now it's just a get up to get a fucking work day. Ew. Ugh. Blech. Alright, now to get this loaded up. Yay! Wake up the brain. There we go. Oh, what the fuck? Did I notice I just like woke up with a prick in my neck? Wasn't feeling that earlier. Oh yeah, I'm feeling a little bit. Fuck. Alright. Bolt, help me with this. Ay. I got a new phone? What? No. It's the most stone cat you've ever seen. Yeah. Cat mint. Damn. The cat look hella lit. Damn, that cat look just gone. That poor cat. My goodness. Pop that up. Fucking shut up, dude. Damn. Fucking dog. Jesus Christ, watch some of the worst people on earth claim to be his followers. Damn. Dude, looks like see some shit. He's got that, like, cigarette in his hand, yep. Shut up! Dude! God. Didn't smoke enough weed yet. Because I haven't yet. Man. God, let's do this. Alright. Supposed to be 300, but I only got it for 80. Nice. Got crucified for this. Crucified over this bullshit. It's like, yes. You have been crucified for that shit. So speaking of which, I wanted to like kind of check out a little something that I saw recommended to me by Vice News. Mainly like, not because like, I'm not like the biggest fan of Vice News, so I like their shit though. But there's like this one thing about Idaho, and I'm just like, yay. Is there an excuse for me to fuck on Idaho? Because I'm taking it. I'm the way, the truth, and the light, y'all. What? I mean, I don't know. I just like, I guess like when it comes to just like making a voice, I just immediately go to like the God damn it show. But I just go to that for some reason. You've been tortured by country gospel all day. Oh my god. You know what I say? You know what I say to all that country gospel? Fuck you all. I knew that was coming up. I had to use it. Fuck you all. So, brother, I'll be over tomorrow sometime. Check about the truck. Yeah, I've been looking at it since you moved it, and nothing's happened to it. At least not that I'm aware of. So, should be all good. Now I'm starting to feel awake. Now I'm starting to feel the energy and the spunk and the gumption. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking some gas. No hawks come sniffing around. Nope. To make up for it, look at this Vietnamese dish. Oh my god, that looks fucking amazing. That looks delicious. What? Got some beefs. Looks like some meatballs. And a bunch of just deliciousness. I want that right now. I just want to slurp that up. Mmm. It's delicious. But I probably wouldn't try it. Dude, you wouldn't try that? Dude, I bet it would be banging, bro. Oh my god. You're such a prude about food, bro. I mean, I know you just said it, but like, you really are, man. Like, I mean, dude, honestly, you can't even really, like, be totally, like, a fucking prude if you are, like, you know, just exposed to, like, food desert foods, which are really good foods. I mean, it's like when you're exposed to, like, McDonald's and Alabama slop. I mean, yeah. You tried sesame chicken the other day, was you being adventurous? Oh my god. Bruh. 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 You think it looks good, but you wouldn't try it? Yeah, this is a really good looking shirt, but I'll never wear it. I know, like, that's so weird. It's like you would, like, yeah, that looks really good, but I'm never trying that. That shirt looks awesome. I'm not gonna wear it. Why is this this stream is recommended to you again? Maybe you're destined to, you know, be recommended this. I don't know. You're just destined. I'm honestly kind of surprised that YouTube's recommended my stream to people. I'm more surprised about that than just like, why is it recommending me this? I'm more surprised it is. So, yeah, I'm all okay with that. Oh my god, dog. What is your deal? Mer. Fucking mutt. Silly ass dog. I like how that red lemon cola guy comes in here just to ask why he's recommended this stream, and then he just dips. Like, if he really, like, was wondering, you should be asking YouTube that. I try to drink all the red lemon cola. Lemony Coke with a cinnamon kick to it. Or maybe it's like a, little bit of a, like a lemon, strawberry lemon, maybe? Or cherry lemon? I mean, honestly, like, a red lemon cola does actually sound legit pretty good. It sounds like a mixed drink, actually. I want to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee before you go to Arizona. What if it's just one of Jar's Pitt's salts? Jar of Piss? Maybe. I haven't seen him in a long time. Like, he usually is, like, in the DFF and DP community, but he hasn't been around in a minute. It's been a fat minute since I've seen him around. I miss Jar. A little, yeah, I kind of do too. He was such a personality. The last time I saw him was like on the DFF's Patreon, like where he made like a few comments over there. So I know he's still like around. Like Jar Piss is still around, but he just doesn't really talk as much anymore. Doesn't really donate as much, so. Yeah. His profile picture was literally just a cup of orange juice. A humble cup of OJ. Or maybe it was literally a jar of OJ, I don't know. Something like that. I know it was, some OJ in a cup of some sort. This piss jar, you're thinking of it in the chats? Piss jar? You think it might be the same dude? Jar of piss, piss jar? I mean, it sounds like it might be the same guy. Maybe he changed his name up. Had a little bit of a change. makes the name sound more commanding. Yeah, it kind of does a little bit. I've been watching this documentary on the Unabomber. I'm convinced the dude is an anti-tech primitive moron. Dude, Tech Kaczynski. Okay, take Warrior Slayer versus Warrior of Slaying. I mean, both are pretty commanding. The Warrior Slayer or Warrior of Slaying. Like both, I mean, both of those I will argue are pretty commanding. At least with that example. But I will say Warrior of Slaying is probably a little bit more. Because it's not just like, a Warrior Slayer, it's like a warrior that is just, that just is consistently, slaying. Got a little bit more of an extra oomph to it. Both have an oomph, but one's got a little more than the other. So it's definitely there. But yeah, like, I mean, Ted Kaczynski, though, he wasn't really like an outright primitivist moron. He was somebody that, had like a fundamental criticism and a fundamental, despisement towards industrialism. Like, I mean, he had a, major, quarrel with any concept of industrialization. I mean, yeah, that makes him a primitivist and to, I guess, to some extent, a rewilder, but he wasn't even really totally that, necessarily, either. I mean, arguably, he was more of a Luddite. Like, so much into the philosophy of primitivism and stuff that he basically kind of goes, Luddite status. Which is not just, essentially, a criticism of industrialization. Because it's one thing to have criticisms of industrialization and shit, like I definitely do. And then there's one thing to just, totally disregard and eschew it and try to, revert ourselves away from it. What's to expect the Iron Age now? I mean, I don't, well, the thing is, there's no way he would be able to even achieve that. And he couldn't, and he didn't. That's the thing about the idea, at least for me, when it comes to, anarcho-primitivism or rewilding and stuff like that, it's more of, a philosophy more so than, an idea to enact as, a governmental, system. So, I mean, because it's more about, at least in my mind, more about, a communal / individual philosophy more so than, an attempt to bring humanity back to or something. No one's going to give up on comforts. Exactly. That's kind of what I mean. That's why, when it comes to anarcho-primitivism or rewilding or stuff like that, it's, really broadly, I think, when people call themselves that, are more or less just trying to advocate, that people at least try to become a little bit more self-reliant, given our systems. So it's just having your own little garden in your yard and shit like that, So it's more about, an advocacy of trying to, find a balance of self-reliance, in a system that's so exploitative to you. So you don't have to be so attached to the system as much as other people may be. If you have means, to be at least somewhat... Shut up! Damn! What the fuck is with you right now, bro? Dog? But, when it comes to at least, God, this dog is making me lose my train of thought. Fuck. Yeah, he did. Motherfucker. Shut up! What was I saying? Shut it! Zip! Because that pissed me off. What was the last words I was saying? Unironically? It was fucking... I mean, it's basically just, yeah, I mean, I know it was, broadly what it was. It's, basically a, I mean, I think you know what I mean. A balance between, finding a way to not be so attached, so to speak, to the, broader, system and shit. About self-reliance, yeah. I mean, I know broadly what it was being discussed. I just forget exactly what I was going into. Because I already know exactly what I just said, which I just said it again. But beyond that, I don't know. Fucking asshole. Well, we need some more communal gardens and the that's accessible to everyone. Imagine having this big ass farm that anyone can go to and get their fair share of food. It would belong to everyone. Yeah. And at the same time, also, anyone can go there and tend to the farm as well. It being a communal farm, you can, there basically would be there, for the community to tend to take care to. And honestly, that's something you would see a lot, honestly, in, different smaller, European towns and shit like that are very, mixed zones and everything. Because a lot of them tend to be very communal and do a lot of self-sustaining and self-reliant, too. They have their own personal gardens, but they also usually will have, little communal gardens in their neighborhoods and shit. And around here, I know there is, a lot of people that do their own little gardens and stuff like that, but when it comes to, a little communal garden, I think there is at least, a few small ones, but they're not, usually, big ones, usually, where, a lot of people go to them. It's usually something that I think, some people, ask the city if, they can have a little communal garden in a park, and just the people in that little neighborhood take care of it. So, I think there is a process to set up a little community garden, because I know I've seen them prop up occasionally before. Not a lot, but sometimes. that capitalism will allow it. Well, I mean, it happens in a capitalist system, so evidently it does. At least enough to just, you know, let it slide. Listen to my favorite YouTube telltale atheist, read Chill's right-wing propaganda books, other crap discussing like why not. Elephant's not a bird. Anti-trans book. That actually reminds me, hold on. It said I wanted to fuck on Idaho, which is tangential to what you're talking about, so let me do it. Vice News, don't hit me with anything copyright-wise. I'm using you for fair use. Because I'm using you to want to fuck on Idaho, and I love how the first frame is this. This is Idaho in a nutshell. This is why this backwater fucking state's a shithole, because this is the first frame you get to see. You might as well just, like, see a church as you enter Idaho. So, like, there might as well be, like, a gigantic fat church, like, on the side of every road entering fucking Idaho. To just let you know what you're dealing with.
Heavenly Father, we are so grateful for the privilege to come and learn about what you are doing in the State House. I pray these things in Jesus' holy name.
Oh my god, this is what they're doing. This is, like, what their state government's doing with their time. Literally having, like, town halls where politicians are praying and shit. It's like, oh my fucking god, dude.
We're outside a church in Boise to...
Wait, hold up. What did that say?
I pray these things in Jesus' holy name.
Hold up. Biblical values or chaos? What? Are we going to establish the biblical values in order, or are we going to have moralistic chaos?
Outside a church in Boise to attend a town hall organized by the Idaho Family Policy Center, a right-wing Christian lobby organization who wrote this bill outlawing a sexualized exhibition in public spaces, also known as the anti-drag bill.
Please welcome Bleeding Kanzai.
I love how literally everyone in here are a bunch of old fucking, like, conservative farts, because, of course, this is like Idaho, again, in a nutshell, a backwater fucking hick-ass shithole. Where I guess the biggest concern for Idahoans is not the fact that they're a backwater shithole, but drag queens.
Hello everyone, it's good to see you tonight. Man, this is a good crowd. Thank you for coming out.
This is a good crowd. It's like half empty and quiet as fuck, and a bunch of old boomers that are probably half drunk.
Zadi is a key figure in...
Why do you feel like next mission is going to be in Idaho? I'm honestly surprised there hasn't been one in Idaho. I don't think there has been a mass shooting in Idaho yet. So frankly, I'm kind of surprised, but it's also probably because they're like Texas and everyone there has a fucking gun too. Like, dude, Idaho's fucking insane. I unironically have a fucking vitriol against this state. Like, I mean, this state is just such a fucking shithole. Like, there's, like, the only time I've ever had, like, a okay time was when I was hanging out with my dad's friend in Boise, but that was because I wasn't really, like, exposed to Idaho that much. I was just hanging out with his buddy, watching, like, science docs and shit. Like, I mean, so, like, that was fine, but literally everything else about Idaho sucks. It's just a shithole. It's just, like, dry, barren, fucking, like, you know, just hot and nothing out there, just, like, nothing but potatoes, fucking just, like, Christian theocracy, right-wing extremists, Klansmen in the fucking northern little, like, chunk of Idaho. Like, it's just a backwater, dude. It's an unironic shithole backwater. Like, it puts a stain on the Pacific Northwest. Like, I really wish it wasn't a part of the biome up here, but it technically is. So they get to be a part of the PNW, even though they really shouldn't.
Access to abortion and limit trans students' participation in girls' sports. Now he's rallying support for his latest effort.
The House Bill 265, the drag legislation, passed off the House floor this morning. Yeah. You want to have
it's a humble yet nourishing food, mashed tots. Yeah, well, hey, guess what? Idaho doesn't even do potatoes right. The rural Irish, you know, in the Midwest have a lot better of a way to deal with potatoes than their asses, so. And also, we get our potatoes from Washington and Oregon when it comes to our JoJo's. Like, I mean, every now and then we'll see them from Idaho, but frankly, I notice there is a quality diff.
drag show?
Oh, and else. Well, blame Idaho for besmirching the name of the potato.
Do it.
Like, what gives Idaho the right, to be the state that is the home of the potato in this fucking country? Fuck you. Fuck you, Idaho.
Drag show? You want to do that at your private venue? That's fine.
Hey, guess what, you fucking conservative dumb fuck, you moron Idahoan, you fucking hick. Hey, who's trying to pretend to be all nice and posh with your fucking suit? Hey, guess what, bitch? Like, the drag queen events are happening in private venues and shit. Just because they're, like, at bars or at, like, book clubs or whatever the fuck, or at, like, a library, doesn't necessarily mean that it's, like, public specifically for that event, It's, like, cordoned off to be, specifically a private event in a public building and shit that you can go to if you wish. Like, no one's... Oh, my God, dude. I love that fucking weasel word bullshit that these stupid conservative hick fucks, try to do, to try to say they have empathy and love or some shit. But it's nothing filled of just fucking hatred and spite. You drew a goatee on glasses on an egg and stuck a suit on it. I don't know. Like, Idahoans, I guess, because, I mean, this is, like, a good chunk of what, like, a decent amount of them look like.
Check IDs at the door. That's pretty basic to me.
Kanzati's bill...
Check IDs at the door. If it's a private venue, why do you care, egg? You fucking egghead.
Children's access to drag performances. But there's a larger plan behind it. To make biblical law the law of the land.
Don't make fun of egghead. Well, hey, that's another egghead. That's a different egghead.
There's one objection that we always hear. You can't legislate morality. You can't impose
and honestly, you probably shouldn't.
Your morality on others or expect your morality to reign in the public square. Is that true? As Christians, we know that God's law is the perfect reflection of morality. And if...
What the fuck? This is like some weird cult shit, man. Dude, Idaho is like a fucking cult state. Like, God's morality is a perfect, reflection of morality. Like, what the fuck, man?
Law is the perfect reflection of morality, then wouldn't we want to model our civil laws after his?
No. Fuck no. No. You have never even demonstrated he exists. And even, if we grant, the evidence of his existence, he's a fucking callous, narcissistic, egotistical, fucking horrible god who caused destruction and mayhem just because you don't worship him. Or put, other idols before him and shit like that.
That perfect law, when men begin to shirk back from their responsibility and allow evil men to set policies and set rules. And
what does this even mean? Like, where we let good, honest folk, just sit on the sidelines and then evil men take over. It's like the same weird shit with, like, weak men, make bad times make strong men make good times, and then it repeats itself. Even though that's not even true.
The public square, we get here.
Kanzati is just one piece of a national movement of right-wing Christian groups, like the Family Research Council and Alliance Defending Freedom, that's had
a holy war. Like, dude, man, I mean, if they're literally calling this whole thing, again, that they're doing against trans people like a fucking holy war, how can we not say that this is pretty much a fucking war? Like, this isn't just like a quote-unquote culture war, like, it just is just a war. Like, I mean, not in the traditional sense, but, like, at least in a figurative sense, and in a technical sense of, like, enacting aggressive and violent means to try to, destroy this, quote-unquote threat. Even though the threat is actually their asses, not trans people, or drag queens, or drag kings and shit.
Success pushing anti-LGBT.
But even, we're looking at one right now. No shit! Of course, if I was to show up with that kind of fashion cell, I'd go with at least 4 people for protection. Well, luckily, every time I've been through this fucking shithole, I'm driving through it. That's the only thing this state is worth, is just, putting fucking tread on it, and just, like, putting a bunch of tracks in this fucking dirt.
This year, 10 states have passed bills restricting gender-affirming care for trans youth, and 18 states have introduced bills to restrict drag shows. In 2 of them, Tennessee and Arkansas, it's the law. Kanzati's work often involves strategizing with lawmakers like Ben Taves, who sponsored the drag bill in the Senate.
I
think that there's going to be a hearing.
I'll never get over the fact that people who make up most of the population still feel threatened by a negligible percent of the population. Yeah. Like, trans people make, like, what? Like, less than 1% of the population, at least as we're aware of? You know, it might be a little more than that, but, dude, like, I mean, trans people do not make a large percent of the population. And what's fucking just retarded is that these people think about trans people more than queer people and trans people especially. Like, trans people don't even think about trans people this much. They might think about occasionally, like, oh, I should probably get my HRT medication today, or whatever the fuck. Like, that's about as far as it goes for trans people. Like, I mean, these people are, like, literally have it on their minds 24-7. Like, all the time. Like, I mean, holy shit. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They're trans, not mutants from fucking Marvel. I mean, well, I mean, that'd make trans people even more awesome if they were, like, partially mutant, like, Marvel, like, superheroes. Like, if they were also, like, Marvel superheroes on top of being trans, I mean, that'd be even more awesome, honestly. I'd be like, oh, damn, based, shit. I wish I had that genetic combo, fuck.
So, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that trans people have heat vision. And then they turn buildings into ash. Dude, that'd be fucking legit. Dude, like, you know, the fucking, like, trans army is just a bunch of, like, superhero X-Men style mutants, you know, just fucking, just, like, rolling up on Texas and Tennessee and Arkansas and shit. Oh, my God, dude. Man, don't teach me of a good time, Rose. Jesus. I know you were trying to make them sound bad, you know, at least, you know, like, with the whole point of being, like, they're trans people, not, like, you know, this bad thing, but it's, like, that bad thing actually sounds awesome, so I don't know.
Path to getting it passed, there's a few people that I'm going to have to get on board. I'm hearing that as a theme where a lot of people are concerned.
Sounds like, oh, so people need to be on board. Sounds like we need to lobby. Sounds like we need to get some checks and, you know, grease people's pockets. Sounds like this is a way to do mass funding, to do a lot of divide and conquer, you know, so they can do a lot more of their corrupt, horrible fucking legislative action. That's kind of a curious little bit of phrase that he said there, and knowing that he's on camera, he had to say it very colorfully like that. But if you read between the lines, you know what the fuck he meant. He's talking about, you know, lobbying and getting the super PAC together and putting grease in some pockets and, you know, make sure some checks are filled and fucking cashed.
Alliance Defending Freedom and Heritage and Family Research Council, they only want bills with civil cause of action enforcement mechanisms at this point, because relying on prosecutors to enforce these types of, it's not going to happen.
Kanzati's bill would restrict any...
That's like something I just noticed there. That fucking egghead dude made a little omission. He just said that, like, he knows that prosecutors and, like, people in the judicial systems in these states won't necessarily enforce their laws, so they have to essentially, in these bills, guarantee that there's a way that, you know, their laws can be enforced and basically circumnavigate prosecutors and shit. Like, I mean, that's just a little bit of an omission, because they know that their shit's not popular. They know that, you know, the only way to enact this type of shit is to go full fascist. That's why they're so fucking open and gung-ho about it, because they just know that people aren't, you know, don't agree with their shit. Even if they may or may not have, like, you know, qualms about transgenderism or whatever the fuck, and may not understand it or get it or like it or whatever the fuck, you know, like, people are not usually this extreme about, you know, dealing with it. Because frankly, I know people who I worked with before in the past that, I'll be honest, are, you know, we're a little transphobic a bit. Not because, like, they outright spited or hated them or something, because they just don't fucking understand or understood that shit. And, you know, heard a few things from the grapevine from fucking propagandists like this shit and think, oh, well, they just don't understand biology or something. You know, it's just some vague shit like that. You know, so, and, like, are they doing that as a way because, oh, they're, like, some, like, bigoted, you know, like, piece of shit? Not really. But, like, they are doing it unintentionally and are aware of that type of shit. And there's honestly, frankly, you know, a lot of people like that. And it just means that, like, hey, you know, that person just needs to be aware and be like, hey, you know, that's not actually, you know, like, totally true, here's why, and blah, blah, blah. Like, having, like, a just, you know, decent little back and forth with the person, you know, usually will help be like, oh, okay. Or at least, you know, be like, oh, really? Huh. You know, and then just kind of at least plant the seed to be like, oh, okay, maybe I was a little wrong. You know, but, I mean, will that work all the time? Probably not. But, hey, I mean, don't know unless you know, talk with the person. and being all like, hey, fuck you, like going right off the bat like that is not necessarily going to, like, you know, win hearts and minds. But if they're persistent and arrogant and continue to, you know, be a jackass like that, then at a certain point, yeah, they just are legitimately kind of being bigoted as, you know, to a certain point. And then at that rate, yeah, it'd be okay to call them that. But just because, you know, they don't get it right off the top of the head, and motherfuckers like these, you know, far-right Christian and fascists and shit take advantage of that, you know, lack of understanding and ignorance, is, you know, something that, like, you know, goes very well hand-in-hand with each other. Because, you know, those type of people get manipulated into something that they just don't understand, and then go into, you know, like, ideas that they think how they understand these things, which, frankly, just confuses them even more. Because it's just, you know, like scapegoating and having this weird pseudoscientific bullshit, you know, tied in, you know, to, like, you know, how they understand the shit, when it's not even closely tangential to what the reality is at all. Because, like, you know, like, their ideas about what transgenderism is like antithetical to what reality is, just fundamentally. Like, so, I mean, it's only going to confuse, you know, these type of people more. And thus, it makes it a lot more harder to try to, you know, like, de-radicalize it from these ideas and, you know, have them, like, basically grow up and move on from it. Because, you know, that's really what, you know, a lot of this indoctrination, you know, relies on. Is, you know, the people's ignorance. And that's also why they're so gung-ho about destroying education, too. Because the more ignorant, stupid people that, you know, are in your country, the more easy it is to fucking manipulate them and make them more gullible.
Drag show deemed, quote, patently offensive to an average person. It was
well, yeah, well, I mean, I guess you're pretty much a direct, you know, validation of what I'm talking about, right, Venom?
In part by a viral video showing what some people
ignorance and indoctrination
interpreted as inappropriate dancing in front of kids. But not everyone has the same idea of what's offensive.
I firmly believe that
you can hear him, dude. Fucking barge in there, dude. Like seriously, like every time he does that, like barge in there and yell something, and just like slam the door and just be like, "You're gross" or something, disgusting. I could hear you. Quit busting a nut. Something, just like, you know, ruin the vibe. Fuck him. That's just, what the hell. Like, man, like, what the, God, man.
Those are sexual in nature. When you expose children to that type of material, it will harm children.
Where is your evidence that seeing a drag show causes harm to a child?
Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. This dude looks like David Pakman if he was bald. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, y'all go look up David Pakman real quick and then come back to me, because honestly, why does this Vice News journalist look like David Pakman if he was bald?
So there is a wealth of scientific and academic literature that demonstrates the harm caused to children by sexual conduct. There's a reason why.
But you're equating drag shows with sexual conduct.
Absolutely. Yep.
So there's no spectrum there.
So certainly,
wait,
there are some types of sexual conduct that are more obscene than others.
But adult.
What does that mean, you fucking conservative shitbag? I mean, what? Like, some sexual conduct is more obscene than others. Like, there's nothing sexual about, you know, drag queens and drag kings. Like, there isn't. I mean, there's a spectrum to it. There's, you know, because there are definitely plenty of drag queens and drag kings out there that do it for very family-friendly, platonic reasons. But also, at times, they'll do it for some, you know, like some sort of a sexual expression as well. And there are some drag queens out there and drag kings out there that do it, you know, more so for sexual expression than not. But that's the thing. It's because it's a spectrum of things. Like, when it comes to, like, you know, like any of this type of shit, like drag queens, like furries, or fucking, like, you know, just, like, or what, you know, any other, like, little fandom or some shit, you know, there's going to be a spectrum of people who do it strictly as a platonic thing, you know, do it mostly platonically, but every now and then, you know, it's, you know, sexual expression, and some people do it mostly for sexual expression. I mean, you know, it's just, like, it varies. Like, and all, like, but because of that, there's going to be different events, shocker, where some of them might be 18 and over or 21 and over, and then most of them probably going to be all ages, you know, because there's a lot of different, you know, like, events and different things that, you know, partake, you know, when it comes to, you know, these type of things. Like, furry cons, for example, you know, it's just like, I mean, yeah, are there like sexual stuff that happened there? Sure, yes, of course. But like the most of like the day or most of the con and shit, like 80% of it is all ages, like, you know, anyone can, you know, check things out, you know, type of shit. And all the adult type of stuff that happens is usually at very specific like little panels or in the hotel rooms. Like, honestly, you know, so it's out of sight, out of mind type of stuff. But it's not like, you know, it ain't there though. It's not like people, you know, at like the rave parties or some shit, you know, have a little bit more obscene wear and stuff, at least when it comes to at night, you know, like at like 10 o'clock onward and shit. You know, so just saying, it's just like, there's a whole spectrum thing. And, you know, it's like, how's it any different for drag queens? You know, like, seriously. It's like, you know, it isn't strictly a sexual thing. Some people may do that, you know, but like they're not going to be doing that at like some all ages event, because it's a all ages event. It's not the time or place for it.
Entertainment can be anal gangbang, and it can be a drag show on the street.
Sure, yeah. When you are exposing kids to drag performances, you are exposing them to a vision of sexuality and gender that's transgressive. That's the purpose of drag.
Transgressive? Man, these people think about trans people so fucking much that they have to like put trans in like everything, dude.
Welcome. Listen, everybody should feel comfortable here because you are in a loving queer space, and we love you all. Thank you all so much
Dude, this guy's jacket is fucking fabulous.
for being here.
Idaho is a conservative state, but it has a vibrant drag community. Still, like much of the country,
Sounds sexually fucking weirdo. I know, there's like nothing sexual going on here, if
they've
anything.
experienced a surge in violence and threats. Last summer, dozens
Oh,
of
I remember this.
members of the
Coeur
far-right
d'Alene.
Patriot Front were arrested and accused of plotting an attack on a pride
This is like the one, hog on hog violence, brother. Yay, hog on hog violence.
Coeur d'Alene.
Got some hog on
Later,
hog violence
the
there, brother.
Pride Festival was forced to cancel its youth drag show over safety concerns. Aslan Walker is a non-binary 15.
Same people call gay couple holding hands sexual. Dude, they definitely would. Some Ritoid I destroyed in Facebook earlier is transvestigating me. Apparently I look like a trans man. Oh my god, dude. You got a weird dude, you have a transvestigator conspiracy theorist on you? What the fuck? Dude, bring him in here. I'm not even kidding. I shit you not. I want them to trans-investigate me. See if I'm like, you know, a woman that's a trans man or two, dude. Oh my god. Holy shit. Dude, yes. Oh my god, that's just fucking awesome. I mean, fuck that piece of shit, but Jesus Christ, that's hilarious. Man, when you're so paranoid, like, that you're basically a, quote, trans investigator and think, like, everybody's, like, trans, you know, like, celebrities are trans, you know, and, like, fucking politicians are trans, like, your dog is trans. I mean, it's like, when you're transvestigating status, like, you are just fucking schizo, dude. And there ain't no saving you. And that's just... Oh my god. I mean, all you have to do with that is just fuck with them and just, like, have some fun. I mean, honestly. God damn it. Aye.
who was planning to perform.
Drag is like the embodiment of self-expression. Drag is so important to me because of the fact that I have found an actual community and like group of people that I feel safe within.
So you found yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I had
Not even gonna lie, I mean, they're looking pretty fab.
a performance that I had been working on for 4 months.
Aslan taught themselves to
Lip sync in
Lip sync in
Korean
Korean.
and Mandarin.
What
Damn.
happened to that?
And that's her mom, like, or that's his mom. Oh, pfft. I mean, shit. Hello from Russia. Whoa, hello. Be careful. Just saying that just because I don't want, like, you know, the poo-poo, you know, to fucking, like, you know, try to, like, deck your ass or anything. Be like, niet. I dare you go on American YouTube. Do you listen to rock music? Well, of course. thought it had been censored. Oh, what, that other one? I mean, nah, it didn't. Say what you will about needs who are capable of doing shit, but just stay home and do nothing all day. Nothing as pathetic as trans investigators. I mean, true. There really isn't.
There were many incredibly, like, threatening, violent protesters that were threatening to come to the show with guns.
Basically called us groomers, said we were all pedophiles. It was a call to arms. It was really awful. It was a very scary time for us.
When they presented this bill,
that guy that knows that low-key word, call to arms. Like, I wonder if she's meaning that for, like, you know, queer community mainly. Because considering that, you know, they would be, like, you know, showing up with guns and stuff like that, you know, it's like, yeah, that's kind of a freak out. It's kind of a call to arms to defend ourselves and blah, blah, blah. So, I just noticed that when it comes to so many queer folk and, like, you know, drag queens and shit like this, like, there's always, like, this sense of, like, when it comes to, like, community defense, they're always, you know, having this, like, verbiage of, like, yeah, we're pushed to this, like, you know, it's, like, kind of a call to the arms to defend ourselves and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, it's always, you know, like, in the veneer of, like, yeah, we were pushed to this limit.
This sort of common sense thing, like, you know, we're not going after the drag community at large. We just don't want our kids to be exposed to perversions.
Right.
Is that misrepresentation then?
All of the children that I see at the drag shows love it. They love the costumes and the glitter and the pretty makeup. I feel like the people who are creating these bills don't really realize that who they think they're protecting, they're just hurting.
What will it mean for you and your...
Well, also they, I mean, like, and also they do this shit themselves. Like, there's been so many different, like, you know, Republican politicians that have, like, in their past have been outed to be drag queens. Like, Ronald Reagan apparently was a drag queen. Like, you know, these different, you know, like the Tennessee governor. You know, like all these different politicians, you know, from the right wing who are all hardcore, you know, being against this type of shit are, like, fundamentally just, you know, like, have partook in this type of shit one way, shape, or form. It's just basically only a matter of time before they get outed. It's like every accusation they make is a confession.
Idaho keeps going in the direction in which it's going.
We're probably gonna have to move out of the state.
Yeah, do it. Unironically, move out of that backwater shit hick hole that is Idaho. Come to Oregon. Come to Oregon, bro. It's so much better here.
It kind of feels like
we're right next door to you too, so you don't even have to go far.
I've lived here my entire life. This is the state where I've been raised. So having to leave,
condolences,
will be horrible, but also
well, hey, you're not leaving much behind. I mean, I'm sure you'll leave a lot of memories and stuff like that behind, which that sucks. But, I mean, the state itself is just like, yeah, nah, you're not really, you ain't leaving much behind there, buddy. So much artists escaped Russia and lived in other countries, people too. Nice. Has there been, like, much protesting going on over there? Because I know there were, but as of lately, nothing really comes out, you know, when it comes to that shit. Are people still doing that over there? Kind of hope so. Because, I mean, all in all, like, considering just, you know, like, the whole situation, it's definitely very, like, complicated, even, you know, domestically going on over there, too. At the end of the day, I just want to see that shit over. It's just done.
Can't stay here. Like, this is not a healthy place for me to be in any way.
They're trying to build this world where only people like them are allowed to exist.
Dude, that's a cool skull that they had. Hey, look at those mountains. People like TV. Ah, damn. That sucks.
What would your ideal America look like?
So we would want to see...
Oh no, this is about to be juicy.
The government following biblical law.
That's not how it works in a supposed secular government, bucko.
when it comes to moral issues. I mean, it would look more like the United States in the 17 and 1800s.
Oh yeah, what a great thing to just like look up to. Let's go look at America from the 17 and 1800s. Yep, that's great. Where, you know, morally we had like slavery that was allowed, fucking segregation, indentured servitude for like the Irish and Italians and shit. Oh, you know, manifest destiny. Oh yeah, like let's go back to those times. You fucking psychopath. Oh my god. See what I mean about Idaho being a backwater? This is why, like, holy shit, they literally want to go back to the 1700s and be, like, in the Puritan area. Like, what? Like, you want to be, like, Salem, Massachusetts? You fucking... Oh, my God.
You follow God's laws, you experience the same type of prosperity, freedom, no matter what time you're implementing those laws in.
Well, I mean, 18th century.
I like how he's just like, see, he sat there silently for a second. He's like, I know that's bullshit, but, no, though.
I would beg to differ. America at that time was the most free country in...
America during the 1800s, the most free? What? Yeah, maybe for, like, rich white landowner fucks like you piece of shit. Like, what?
Has remained that way since.
What's gonna happen?
Oh my god.
Happen to gay people?
We will stone them to death, you know? Yeah, we're just gonna do that.
Somebody who is same-sex attracted would have just as much of a place in society. We would probably not recognize, you know, a marriage.
So they don't have the same place in society.
Really? Not really.
Look at your smile, you fucking piece of shit. Look at that smile. Fucking smug fuck. He knows. He fucking knows. He just likes to use his fucking language to just, you know, beat around the bush.
As much of a place.
Oh, absolutely just as much of a place.
But there would be certain things that they would be barred from.
No, they wouldn't be barred from anything that anyone else would be allowed to do.
Except for marriage and, you know, like holding hands and expressing themselves as gay people.
Marriage.
Well, they could still get married, right? They would
Sky's in closet, absolutely.
Have to marry somebody of the other biological sex. So,
Dude, even he laughed in his face. Oh my god, even our bald David Pacman friend here is just like, yo, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we have to set boundaries on...
Bro, come on, dog. Seriously?
Do you ever wonder if you're like on the wrong side of Footloose with Kevin Bacon?
We don't want the dancing to take place.
Yeah, exactly. Well, is that what you're saying?
No, of course not. But we will keep pushing until biblical truth and Christian morality is...
Should I tell Mom that's the she's been wanting? Well, considering that you all are trying to move and he's threatening that, yeah, you probably should. Honestly, that is maybe something that you should exempt. Because, like, if he does that, I'm gonna go berserk. And frankly, you would have a right to. So, yeah, you might want to tell her that.
Feeling philosophy in the public square.
Biblical truth, oxymoron. Have I ever heard of one? No shit, man. Well, it looks like that's all that fucking segment. My god, dude. Fucking Idaho, man. That's what I have to deal with as an Oregonian. You know, just right next door to the east. Like, I mean, like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. If, like, Stefano's, like, hypothetical, like, the states or their own countries and Idaho is its own thing, I'm not even gonna give a fuck. I'm gonna join, like, some military organization of Oregonians that are like, alright, let's annex this fucking let's annex Idaho. Let's fucking, just usurp that shit. Usurp that shit and just like have some like actual like modern like fucking like law and society put upon that fucking backwater, dude. Oh my god. I just so fucking hate Idaho. That is just such a backwater state. Like, if I can help it, I'll never fucking visit that state. Like, passing through it to drive to go to Montana is, you know, one thing, but like actually being there and staying there for more than like 24 hours is another. Biblical truth could suck my left nut. So why the left one specifically? Because it's bigger than the right one. I want him to choke on it. Damn. Damn, bro. Alright, well, that looks like we got our hour through. But partook on that one a little longer than I thought. But, yeah, I got our hour in, and now, yay, work has to come along. I didn't know that could happen. Well, honestly, you know, now that Venom mentioned it, now next time I'm, like, you know, doing some manscaping or something, I'm gonna check on it, so I'm gonna be like, is one bigger than the other? I'm actually gonna, like, unironically gonna see that, you know, next time I'm, like, you know, do some manscaping and, like, you know, fucking, like, you know, do that shit. Pimp Monk has a third nut. Well, there's a reason why he does. He didn't always have that. Like, oh my god, I'm remembering that story. Oh my god, it's so painful. Oh. Was it because I don't even want to mention it because it hurts. Just thinking about it hurts. You showed proof on Discord. Oh my god. I don't even want to do. Oh my god. It just. Switching my hats out. Having a more work appropriate hat. But, and I panic for a sec, but then I find it's all good. Oh, it's probably because, like, it, like, whoop, and kind of goes internal for a second. It does that, too, for me sometimes. Like, I'll notice it'll kind of, like, pop up, and I'll kind of, like, notice it, like, you know, kind of, like, chilling. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I just kind of, like, poke it, and just kind of, bloop, goes back out. I'm like, there you go. Get back in your spot. It's just, you know, like, those little bastards, you know, kind of sometimes will have a mind of their own, you know? Like, they'll just do some shit randomly that's just like, they'll, like, whoop, you know, do some shit like that, you know? Sometimes both of them will just, like, whoop, you know, kind of, like, you know, wall up all up in there. They just do some weird shit sometimes. Had to ruin the mood. Like, it's what the oh my god. Well, luckily I'm about to go to work, so this last bowl's, you know, I think gonna wrap that one. Oh my god. Ah, Dios mío. Okay. God damn it. It's not like clogged, but it's like almost clogged. Well, that's a wrap. Yeah, basically. Oh, you want to see my new pants? I got his pants yesterday. Oh, flexing some nice, you know, cargos. Oh, yeah. Fucking flexing some nice cargos. Look at those cargos. Oh, yeah. Anyway, off to work, so peace out, and I'll be back around for the next.